Hello and welcome to the Reykjavík Grapevine Newscast. My name is Valur Grettisson, of course. I'm the editor-in-chief at Reykjavík Grapevine. We're here in the wilderness. You can perhaps see my blue jacket, a bit sweaty, not in the same physical form as I thought I was. I mean, it's been a while. I don't know how often a journalist is so lucky to tell the world news like this, but I must be one of the lucky few. But today at around 1:30, an incredible event happened in Iceland in the same area as other volcano happened. And we got this incredible fires here. And they are beautiful. They are big, they are high, they are just something else. And also keep in mind that we're recording this, they are only, above Earth, they are about 6 hours old. So it just erupted a few hours ago, and we're the first one, and you basically are the first one to actually see this. This will be completely changed a week from now, but I'm going to tell you all about this after I tell you to buy stuff, of course. Go to the shop. If you like this journalism, if you like these things we are doing, endorse us somehow, and we like to sell you stuff. And if you like to buy stuff, then buy it. We have a lot of nice books about volcano, but believe me, not many of these books can actually capture this, what I'm seeing right now. So, but it's a fair try, and some of them are amazing. We're here in Meradalir, and Meradalir is, of course, if you have watched our newscast before, you know this valley very well. It's a huge valley that the Fagradalsfjall, like the eruption in Fagradalsfjall, actually ended up filling this valley. And this came literally out of from under the lava, the hard lava that was over there. But this is in the northwest corner of Meradalir. This is actually just it's a weird place, to be honest. And this was, of course, we didn't know about this until 1:30 today. And the funniest thing is that it was mbl.is, it's a huge website in Iceland, news website, as well as like vísir.is. They are the biggest ones, and they have a webcam on the mountain, top of the mountain over there. I don't know if you can see it through the smoke, but it's beautiful. This is the big ram, or Stórir Hrútur, and they saw the fire very evidently on the webcam. But the scientists, they were like, like they were like, I don't know, we can't say, but it was obviously what was happening. So they flew over here, the scientists, not MPL, and they monitored this, and they can see that this crack here was, of course, blowing up. This is around 100 to 200 meters long. This might be perhaps between 200 and 300 meters. I don't know, it's really hard to actually assess how long it is, because it's just so absurd to see this, to be honest. And just measuring distance here is just odd. And also, keep in mind, I'm now I might be in 100 meters distance from the crater, within 100 meters. And you can see everything coming up there. Don't worry about it, at least not for me. We know how this is behaving. We've been monitoring it for a while now. And it just goes up, but it doesn't get over here. The big news here is that this is huge. This is much, much bigger than the first eruption in Geldingadalir. And me and Ark, of course, we came there within 24 hours after. We're always making a record better and better. Perhaps we will just be standing on a volcano the next time. But when the last time we saw, when we visited Geldingadalir, the day after, the morning after, it was just one crater and two smaller ones on both sides. It was small, definitely. But this is huge. The reason is basically that the lava used to be, and remember, I was always going through these numbers, we're going back there, the eruption in Fagradalsfjall was around 5 to 15 million cubic meters. This one, though, when they were actually seeing this in the what do you call it, like in the satellite images, they found out, the scientists, that this was around 50 million cubic meters. It's not the biggest volcano, actually, not even in Iceland. It's fairly small in every aspect, but much bigger, 5 to 10 times bigger at least than the first one. Also, like, what the hell? Why again? What is happening here? First of all, and I think I accidentally actually hit the truth in our last newscast when I was, and I always do that accidentally. Keep in mind, when I said that, like, Fagradalsfjall, this mountain behind there, and this volcano station, it hasn't gone off for 6,000 years, and we don't really know how it behaves. And what's interesting is that scientists now, they actually think that this event now is just a part of the series, of the eruption series of Fagradalsfjall. So this is technically, possibly, the same eruption. Imagine that. Although it feels very new, because even at its prime, when it was in June, May, June, or something like that, in 2021, it was not this powerful. So we don't really know what's happening. This is really odd, like how it's behaving. We thought this would not come up in a similar place. My money was on Reykjavík, to be honest, but thankfully that did not happen. Oof, it's incredibly hot here. And it's literally like being home. It's like, I have been missing this more than you think. So, also, yeah, I don't know if I don't even remember. I'm so excited here if I actually told you about this. But this position is in such a good place to be at that you can't imagine. The thing is, we were quite scared that this would be closer to the roads, to the South Beach Road, or a high, what do you call it? Route 1 to the international airport. But luckily, this is just an absurd place for a volcano like this. This is like the best place that you could ever find, except the other place. It's even better than in the beginning. So there is no infrastructure. It's not even like, there are no roads that it will spoil or destroy. And the interesting thing is that it might, of course, destroy something if it's going on and off, like for I don't know, like decades. But I don't know. This is a weird place, meaning that if you're going to get here, you have to hike a considerably longer way than before. Luckily, there is a lot of infrastructure here, meaning that there are like roads and so on, making this much easier for everyone. But it's still hard to get here. This is not anymore a hike for people. Like, this is like average, even hard hike for most people. Second of all, there is gas here, and this is always a concern. I have my gas mask here. As you can see, I don't have a gas meter with me, but it would be preferable here, especially today. Luckily, we have like a high wind right now, and always just keep in mind when you're hiking in this place, as long as you have the wind in your back, like I have now, then you're safe from the gas. It's basically the rule. It's quite simple. Also, when you come here, this is still a danger zone. The civil defense have, of course, they have a state of emergency. It's not, of course, emergency. They know what this is. It's not very different. It's very similar to the other eruptions. The only difference is that how much bigger this one is. It's at least like it's so much bigger that it's ridiculous. But at the same time, just to see it now, it's just, I don't know even what to say here, but it's absolutely beautiful. Also, you have to keep in mind how you're dressed when you're coming here. Because, like I always say, and I know that I sound like a broken record sometimes, but it's so incredibly important, especially for new audience, just to see this and hear this, that it's not the volcano that kills you, it's always the hike. That has always been the case in Iceland. There has like one man died in a accident, like volcano-related accident in Iceland, but there have a lot of people died in the hike around these volcanoes, and they are very hard. So keep in mind, good shoes, good pants, a jacket that can shield you from the wind, and it's going to get cold. It's always cold, no matter what. So always keep an extra wool sweater or something. Always take with you water, and always take with you something to eat. And yeah, that's basically it, of course. If you get these elements, then you're kind of just good to go. The only thing you need to keep in mind, if the search and rescue teams are telling you perhaps it's not wise to do something, then you should actually listen to them. They are not doing it because they love you. They are doing it because it's their job and they want everybody to be secure, and they don't need the hassle to go look for you. Or, also it will just basically, it might even change everything if someone would die here, making this much harder to view. So, that's sad. It was a sad note though. Let's go to the positive stuff. The scientists, they say this is going to last at least for weeks. But when they said that about Fagradalsfjall, it lasted for 6 months. And they thought they called that a vús or a rævill, like in Icelandic, which is not a nice thing to say about anyone, but but they said it. But this mountain have proved them wrong. This means that if you come to Iceland, let's say in September, the odds are that you will see this spectacular thing are quite high, if not, I would say pretty certain. And I was right about this in the last newscast. I said my gut feeling, this is gonna go off because there was something different happening here. The only thing is that to get this close is hard to begin with. Later on, sorry, it's easy to begin with. We are incredibly lucky, and this is the reason we came here so early, is because we know we can get very close to it. After like a week from now, we will probably just be on these hills here, and luckily this is again like an arena. So this means that you will always, no matter where you are, and you don't have to pay a dime for access to this, you will always have the best seat to view the most spectacular show on Earth right now. So it's going to be fun, and it's going to be interesting. What happens now, of course, when it comes to gas is like, we're lucky when it comes to the wind, we're lucky when it comes to everything. And Icelanders are just a relatively lucky nation. So, especially, I mean, look at this. That means that we might have, there might be a concern about gas, but in my experience from the last time, gas wasn't that big of a factor. It was much less factor. But this, of course, is much bigger of a volcano, meaning that I don't know what could happen, but it could be different. But now you have scientists here. Check this out. We're lucky enough to find the scientists that actually they are trying to, well, they are literally sacrificing themselves to tell us how dangerous this is. And we know this is dangerous, but thank you for taking your time to talk to us. Perhaps just start with like your names. Like, what's your name?
Noemi.
Noemi.
Yes.
Ed Marshall.
Simon Matthews.
Okay. You are all working for the University of Iceland, and you are here to gather samples, if I understand this right. Or were you just playing in the fire?
Exactly. We're gathering samples for geochemical analysis. So we're scientists that are interested in the chemical and isotopic composition of the lava, because it can tell us about where the lava is coming from and about how much gases are being released by the volcano.
And that's the big question, actually, and this is why I actually got you to talk to me, because Icelanders are very concerned about the gas. Of course, this is like at least 10 times bigger, they say, 5 to 10 times bigger than the last one, meaning that there must be more gas, right? Or how does this work?
There could be. So at the moment, the estimates that we had in the last few days were coming from the geophysical signals.
Yeah.
But now that we're seeing the lava come out of the ground,
yeah,
we can make much better estimates, or the geophysicists can make much better estimates of how much is coming out. And also we can measure how much gas is coming out.
Right. And is this like, how dangerous is this and how concerned should we be? You all have your masks on you, which I don't, so it gives me an indication that perhaps I'm underprotected here. But is this like something that you should always have around you when you're in this area? Or?
You should definitely always come with protection to a volcano. The people we see around us most likely do not have enough protection. Yeah. We come with gas meters on us, as well as gas masks, so that we're prepared for any hazardous gases. Currently, all these people around us are upwind of the volcano, so the wind is coming from behind us, and this makes it a quite safe area where we are for the general public. But as a general note, the public should come prepared with a gas mask, just in case it's needed.
Yeah, it can really like affect you very quickly, and it can be quite bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we know how changeable the Icelandic weather is. The wind can change very quickly.
We have been in that situation actually. Like the last volcano, we got the smoke into our face, and it was like we really felt this burn and everything. It wasn't gas, thankfully, but it really hurt. So it was interesting to feel that. But you went all the way to the fire to get samples.
We all did, actually.
Yeah, you were even without protection. But how was this? How hot is this? And is this protective gear, is this helping a lot? Or?
It is helping a lot. It's very intense, right at the lava. You can feel it on your face if you don't wear a helmet. Actually, it feels like it's melting your face.
Right.
And if you turn away from the lava where the protection is not protecting you, you can feel instantly how it's like pinching your pants.
Oof, okay. And I mean, like, this is of course always in the beginning. People can get pretty close to this. But after like a week or two, this will not of course be possible. But what to keep in mind, perhaps like perhaps people will be here tomorrow or the other day and so on. Is there some like simple rules that they need to have in mind when around these? I mean, there are obvious rules, of course, when it comes to volcano. Don't get too close and so on. But are there any more complicated rules here that we need to hear?
Stay upwind of the volcano.
Yeah, that's exactly. Okay.
But people are pretty understand heat hazards fairly well because people have been around large fires and they know not to get too close. So it's rare that people seriously burn themselves in the lava. But of course, be safe and careful and keep a safe distance from the lava. But if you, as you saw, if you try to get too close, the heat itself will keep you from getting very close.
Another thing, these samples, when will you know what comes out of this, and what are you exactly looking for here? This is like gas and what? This is something that we will read in the news for a week from now or something like that? Or?
Hopefully sooner than that. So we'll take the samples back to the lab this afternoon and start processing them. And then maybe even as soon as tomorrow, or certainly by the end of the week, we'll have them in our instruments and we'll get the chemical composition. And from that we can tell how far below the ground the magma is coming from. And potentially also some information about how much gas the magma is carrying with it.
Tell me one thing, just a few thoughts perhaps. What do you think about this volcano? And I mean, dare I say, odd behaviors? It's like it's the biggest slacker of them all. It just went to sleep for a year and just woke up again. It's like, is this the same volcano? Is it a new volcano? I mean, what is this even?
That's a great question. And that's one of the things that we're trying to figure out in some ways, is we're going to sample the lava and compare it to the lava in the last eruption. But I think without measuring it, you know, we could predict that it'd probably be pretty similar, considering that it's erupting in the same place only a few months later.
Right. Spoken like a true scientist, not to like yes or no. That's never an option, I guess. But thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. We have to wrap it up. Since we came here, I think it's like 2 hours since, 2 or 3. I think it has been actually growing bigger, if anything. You can see it's adding a little bit to it, the fire on the right side. You can also see it from this point of view, how actually long this is and how big the field is in general. This is, of course, as you can see, significantly bigger than the one that happened in Fagradalsfjall in the 19th of March in 2021. So it's obvious that this is going to be a bigger, more powerful volcano than we have ever seen in this area. Please be careful if you're visiting here, of course, but and also check out our homepage grapevine.is if you want any update about this. Yeah, we will be back with you probably on Friday or Saturday. And thank you for watching. And of course, my name is Valur Grettisson, and I'm the editor-in-chief at the Reykjavík Grapevine.